Welcome everyone to Epic Experiences, where we we encourage people and we inspire communities. I know how to spell E.P.I.C. I am your host, Sinitra Skillern, and today the energy is already energizing. There's 4 of us in the room today. We're all going to introduce ourselves and just share whatever information you like to give to the people. I already said who I am. I am Sinitra Skillern. To my left is
I am Nicole Williams, most known as Nikki.
Yes.
You know, darling. So
I'm
just kidding. I am family. We are family.
Yes, we are.
And I'm just happy to be here. I guess professionally, I'm a communications consultant. I own Ellison Enterprises LLC.
Yes.
Call me for your communications and PR needs. Just I just a woman about town, and not like that. Renaissance. Thank you. Renaissance.
Can literally talk about anything.
Love it.
That's why I love Nick. Dig it. So Nikki's left.
I am Tiffany Pons Kimbrough. I went to school with Sinitra since I believe we were around 11,
12.
somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I am newly returned to Cleveland as of November, which was the perfect time to come back. I'm real smart. And before moving here, I was a marketing and communications director at a law school. And now I currently looking for work.
Last but certainly not least.
I'm Shatera Miller, also known in the art world and just from my hometown, Lady T. I know Sinitra, becoming friends through the field of education, and also my sister in Christ. And I currently serve as a principal for whatever that's worth.
A lot to me. A lot to be very important in my world.
And I dabble in the art world as well. You find me on IG. Miss _ Mills, MILLZ _ and that's it.
Miss Mills.
Okay.
Mills and Mills bookings. Okay.
That's nice.
I like that. It's a lot of connections.
There's so many things.
It is, and I'm
Overlap.
grateful for this space because everybody in this room I have deep connection with. We got family, childhood friends, started out as professional colleagues, but is quickly morphed into friendship. And so, I'd never call you Shatera, but Shatera. I know. We call ourselves by our last names, but has joined me before, and the TPK has joined before. And I asked Nikki a long time ago, would you come on and just bless the space? She's like, when? Here are my dates. I was like, I'm scheduling. I'm like, when are you here? I'm scheduling around when you're here. Let's do that. To come into this space. And a few episodes ago, I don't know what number, because it's about to be double digits at the end of the summer. I'm a little excited about that. This episode has actually gone up I look at my analytics because that's who I am, and the episode that Shatera and I recorded some time ago has now reached number 2 on my list as listens, and so that is this is a perfect time to bring it back around with more perspectives, a little deeper conversation. And that episode was be strong for what? In my Lil Jon voice. I cannot say it without thinking that.
Can't do it.
Exactly. And right. And so in that episode, it was just Shatera and I, but we hit so many different topics about what it means to be strong as a woman. Why do we have to be strong? All the areas and hats that we wear, it was vast. And so today, it can still be vast today, but bringing in Tiff and Nikki is really different perspectives. But our conversations can just morph into a lot of different things, which I'm here for. And so, although I am the facilitator, and I put that in quotes, I'm here to learn as well. I'm here to, if I'm not the only one asking questions or guiding this thing, it can come from any or all of us. And so, this is Be Strong for What? The sequel.
Ooh.
Part two. So that's what we're gonna jump and dive into, and really just explore strength from our different perspectives. And that there's a lot of dynamics in this room, and I think Miller, it's gonna ebb and flow between Miller and Tara. Miller brought up the fact that we have both married and single in the room. Mm-hmm. We have varying ages, like we're all within the same decade or so of each other, but still different perspectives. Mm-hmm. We also have, there was another one that escapes me right now, but it will come back. It's okay. It's a little foggy. But again, there's a lot of different perspectives that we are going to speak from. And so where we ended, if we can just pick up where we ended, and maybe not pick up, but just recap where we ended. We talked about the Proverbs 31 woman and how that sometimes is used as this pillar of strength and something to obtain and attain and sustain as a woman. And it's like, but how do we do that? And why do we have to do that? And so for that point, it's like, if we think about her, being used as this example, what does that mean for us in 2023, in all of our different arenas that we live? Mm-hmm. What does that mean? And do we have to?
No. Because why? Because what happens is, to me, because I lived the life of that, what happens is, and again, my own perspective and my own experiences, what tends to happen is everybody's like, she got it. She got it. So my family calls me Nikki.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, Nikki got it. Mm-hmm. Or Tiff got it. She's fine. I've had more than one guy break up with me because he told me that somebody else needed him more than I did.
Oh, wow.
Not that it wasn't true. But but it's still like, how is the reason is because I'm or independent or self-sufficient. But a lot of times that's confident, but a lot of times, or intelligent, all of it, ambitious, all that. But a lot of times what those traits come from more survival than that thing of being feted and petted and being made to feel like you matter enough for someone for you two to come to this spot. Wow. So it's like, for what? Then it's like, okay, so then you get that, and now it's your role. Now it's your role in your family, possibly. Now it's your role in your relationship. Mm-hmm. It might be your role at work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the things.
If you're the girl that everybody comes to because they know you'll knock it out, because they know you'll help, that is also exhausting. Yes. Especially when I have stuff to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let me call that, was that professional punishment? When you're the person and you just get more and more put on you.
Ooh. That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
But I would actually agree with you because this I've been in a couple of different relationships, and I remember one of my most serious relationships during some times of turmoil. Mm-hmm. The comment was made, when you care about your grad school and your job, your career, more than you care about me. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not the case. Those are two separate things. And I was hoping and praying that you would, be wishing and praying for my elevation as I'm cheering for you. Mm-hmm. And then fast forwarding years later, I was having a conversation with this woman, and she said to me, and it was on random, and she said, one day you might find yourself where you can let go some of your masculinity to allow your femininity to push through.
Sounding like Dr. Umar.
And I said,
I don't.
and
I'm just saying. I'm so sorry. Okay.
And at first I was very much like you, like I was like taken aback. I'm like offended. I'm like, wait a minute, like what you mean? I'm not walking around like a man or something? Like, but I had to sit with it.
Okay.
And when I sat with it, I'm like, she's actually kind of right. Because hear me and hear me well.
I'm listening.
I have been conditioned to do it on my own for so long because that's the model I've been given for good, bad, and indifferent, right? And so, and everything that I have achieved really has been outside of God from the strength of me and my persistence. And so it is like that. I take pride in my independence. But when I come across a man who I can let go, that is letting go a little bit of that need to kind of be dominant.
So then if her wording would have been dominance versus masculinity,
I think there would have.
Yeah, there would have.
So you had to unpack it. You had to unpack it. Because at first you like, I'm like, hold on now. Exactly.
Because I wear pants?
Exactly. Like I ain't.
figuratively or literally.
Yeah. So at first I was kind of, I had a knee-jerk reaction like, hey, this is like fighting words, like, what's that? And I'm 11 out of height. But that other side of Gemini come out and
nobody wants to see her.
But when you unpack it and you dig back those layers, it's like, what have you been conditioned?
Yeah. And to your point, Timmy, that's out of survival.
Yeah,
I'm doing this out of survival and conditioning. Not because, just...
Or ambition. You can call it that if that's what you want to call it.
But, I mean, but out of survival could mean, so I was raised by a single mom. And I'm the oldest child. That was the other connection.
Oh.
Oldest children. Only child. And then where do you fall?
Oh, I'm third.
So but that's still all different dynamics.
Yeah.
So the ways that role play. Yeah. So for me, being in the home, like my mom worked. And so having to assume that role, of I'm home, and so all the children is I'm watching the children while she go and do, while she work, while she go kick it, while
grocery store,
everything.
Oh, y'all are not going.
None of us are going. 0 children.
I wish more people did that. But go ahead.
We never went to the
I can't remember going with
Veronica. Ever.
No.
Oh, wow.
Or Chuck. What?
Why? You don't eat what I bring in this house. I don't need your input or your distraction.
Are you touching anything?
I didn't get to talk going into the grocery store because we never
went.
We
never, you know what? Oh my God, did we never go? I don't remember going.
Really?
Maybe
I would go with my mom all the time.
Yeah, I was saying we would go.
Yeah, we would all
we
the
would
time.
go. I don't know how she dealt with all of us.
I'm almost certain it's because it was just you.
Well, yeah, because I was part of the unloading and all. Yeah. People always said, when you're only child, you get spoiled. I was like, but there's nobody to blame anything on.
Hello.
You can't pass the buck to anybody.
Ask
so
my child.
Yes.
I was only known for 12 years, and then it's hard for a 15-year-old to pass something to a 3-year-old. Yeah, right.
Kind
You bring up an
Very
interesting point, though, Nikki. You said that you have nobody else to blame it on. So how has that kind of like metamorphed your strength or your need for independence?
Well, I think that there's a lot of responsibility as the only child. I just recently lost my father about 8 years ago. And so I was in caregiver mode for them. And, there's nobody to pass that off to. And people will tell you, oh, it's so great that you're doing that for your parents. But the frustrations and how hard it can be and how draining it can be. And I think that my mentality growing up, and I think this is sort of glorified in Black culture, is this sort of hustle and grind and hustle and grind and grind and hustle. And my favorite t-shirt that I wear now, it says grind, but it's crossed out and then it says align.
Yes.
So like
I need
We
that.
all want teacher. We all want that teacher.
Yeah. shout out to my whole girl. I have to remember the website.
Please and
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
But like, you know, so I realized how important alignment was.
Yeah.
And really just focusing on putting things in place so that I can, you know, certainly achieve my goals, but also achieve rest. I just had an interview for a contract, and one of the questions was, what is my interpretation of Black liberation and gender justice? And I said, it's care.
Wow.
It's rest.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
Black liberation looks like. That's what
Yes.
gender
Yes.
equity
Oh my
and
gosh.
justice
Yes.
looks like. Is that we find that rest, that peace.
Drop out of that wall up all the time. You're not always
Right.
on.
Yes.
Right. You know, the
Exhausting.
strength and surrender.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, so
Wow.
I
you
think, I
know.
think we touched on that.
Yeah,
before
we
that.
did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for it to just naturally come up again,
Yes, it
Right.
did.
that there's something there.
And we
Yeah.
struggle with that big time.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, that is the goal. That's got to be the goal.
Yes.
You know, this whole, I mean, you know, for the time that we were growing up in, I think, you know, it sort of blended with the culture, the pop culture, the puffy, you know, we puffies and in shiny suits and
Mhm.
dancing around, you know, like, so it's like, oh, we're gonna grind and we out here, we hustling. No.
we really just want to be at peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, you know, making that the goal instead of, you know, this sort of, because the grind will never stop, the hustle will never stop. So, you know, the end game has to be finding joy, finding peace.
Yes.
You know, and so I think that as an only child, you realize you can't be everything to everybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm learning
yeah, you just have to say, well, I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
I might get to this.
Yeah.
And then be
Fine with how the chips fall.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, I'm really getting to that. I mean, it's a struggle. It's, you
Right,
know, it's not
right.
like it's,
Like I switched it on and
Got
like,
it
I'm
together.
here.
Right.
Hi,
It's
welcome.
like you almost
Perfectly
have to
aligned.
journey, though.
Yeah.
Like, you already acknowledged it though, and I think that's what's so powerful. When you talk about rest
difficult.
and surrendering and
Oh,
being
yeah.
at peace, and there's this book that I'm currently reading called Rest is Resistance.
mm,
And it's talking about that alignment, and it's talking about being at peace with saying like my body is checked out and I have to listen to it.
Yes.
And as a Black woman, you have to know your pause button, or better yet, your stop.
Yeah.
yes.
So-
And your boundaries.
And your
Because
boundaries.
everything
Right.
you
That's
spoke
so
to
powerful.
is
Like,
boundaries.
yo,
That's what was
that's
ringing.
surrender.
Yes, ringing in my head consistently when you were talking, Nikki, was boundaries.
Mhm.
Knowing
I too,
those
yes.
and saying them
Mhm.
full throated.
right.
With your chest.
With your chest.
With your chest.
And then, and like you said, let the chips fall. It's not disrespectful to
Mhm.
have boundaries. It may be perceived that way by others because then you are not a benefit
To-
quote
to
unquote,
that
to
person.
them.
Right, to
So
them.
when you're no longer a benefit, then it turns out I'm just what? Protecting me that because
Protecting my peace.
because if I'm not at my best self, I'm no good to anyone. So if I and we talk about the word grind, like the actual definition of grind is something you wearing down something.
Mhm.
So grinding is actually not a good thing.
Come
It's
on.
actually not.
Say
Right,
that.
like
And
my
so-
knees be grinding.
Hello?
You gotta run that back. Say it slower to people on
Right,
that.
right, right.
You gotta say it back on the grind.
Grind literally means to wear something down.
Mhm.
So grinding is not a good thing.
Come on.
It's not a good thing. And so when you think about that, it's like, but if I do that for you, whoever you are on the other side of that, then you're benefited and you're bettered,
Mhm.
and then it's to my detriment.
Right.
So then I'm
Exactly.
no good to
Ooh.
anyone except you who's
Yeah.
taken. So it's not, and what I've learned is, here I will offer. I know what I'm able to do.
Mhm.
So I'm going to offer this thing. Now, if you choose to accept this thing that I offer, excellent. If it's not all of what you need, but it's some of it, you can say yes or no, but I know that if whatever I offer, I can commit to in that moment and for that time. Because I'm not gonna, what we say, Miller, overpromise.
Yeah.
Can't overpromise. Not that whole anything I can do, let me know. That has been removed from my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice thing to say, but if somebody call you on it, you mad. You said anything.
You resent them for it.
I resent them. Ooh. Please bring up is that what you were going to talk about, the resentment?
Because I felt it in your spirit.
Because
we talked about it last time. So, and I don't, y'all, I feel bad because I don't remember where I heard this from, but they were talking about resentment, and one of the speakers was saying, well, isn't resentment I guess you would say a byproduct of anger? And the other person was like, no, it's a byproduct of jealousy. So let's get to what well, I almost called you Parkin.
It's okay.
Okay. So let's get to what Parkin just said. So I've offered you, I said, anything I can do, let me know.
Yeah.
You said, Tiff, I need you to pick up these flowers, these groceries, and I'm stuck because I said I'd do it.
Right.
But I'm mad at you because I'm jealous that now I'm doing what I think you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
We talked about that when we talked about your husband cooking.
But it was real. It was so real.
And I mean, and I can that's up to the part that, you know, sometimes I'm gonna just say it. So like when I think about people who live their dreams, but if it's off of somebody else's back, that person, it's probably, there's gonna be a little bit of resentment there, especially if that person is also not living their dream or to their full potential, because they are now your net. So you can fly high. You the flying Melindas. Yeah, because somebody, someone, some person is your net. You don't fear falling.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is another thing about strength. If everybody feels like you got it, these people performing great feats of wonder, and you like, right? Okay, I guess they're on my I'm just wait till you fall. I'm gonna just be right here.
Because
but you down there mad.
Because you got it.
Big mad.
Yeah.
Because you got it. And even sometimes
the perception that you got it.
when someone gives you the opportunity and says, ooh, this is gonna make me itch, that now you can do, you know, you have the space to do what, you know, you've always wanted to do. Like, I've never done anything but net. How am I?
Yeah.
I'm like 50. I've been a net for somebody for since probably since I was around 8. Because I got my first cousin, she's 4 years younger than me. She didn't have a sibling and I didn't have a sibling. So that's our dynamic. And don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming, but you know, like, this is like, that's where it started.
Yeah.
So when you learn to care for other people when you're that young, then all of a sudden now you're 50, like, well, okay, well, if nobody care for,
what's my purpose?
why am I here in Cleveland, hot and cold? I'm sorry, never mind. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Squirrel.
I'm back. I get some water. Like, perfectly okay.
Yeah. But all.
But yeah, it's all of that is strength stuff. If that's what you
Yeah.
did to survive, and now you want everybody else to do what you never could, right? Because that's what some of us, like, I feel like, especially that mom thing, that older sister thing, that close friend. You want your close friends and your sisters and your children to do the absolute most, the absolute best.
Yeah.
So then it's like they do, and it may not be because of you, but then you're like, well, damn, I wish I had a
me. I wish I had a me for me. Sometimes.
Ooh, I could use a me.
I've often said, if I meet Nikki, I'm gonna marry that girl.
Quickly too.
We gonna be happy.
Like, yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes, but I do can appreciate the fact that 2 of me is too much.
Well, not the full you,
the other part,
but the you that does for others
is of service.
Yeah, that part.
The server.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah,
and I think I've talked about that's how our at home, how the paradigm is shifting at home, is where he, like, the things that I used to do, because wife, mom, and doing all the things, and now when those tables turn, and I'm like, hey,
That's my job.
that's my job.
What you doing?
Yeah, what you doing there? I'm supposed to be doing that. But who said?
Right.
Who
It is
said? Because I think
And it's
Our
unfair.
interpretation of Proverbs.
but right, but yes, I embodied that. Like,
Look at me.
But the thing is, who know what's happening at the address? But
No,
me
nobody.
and him.
But y'all, right.
That's
So who know who cooking the meal and who doing the
Nobody,
taking?
and who cares but y'all? That's the other part. We really do think that people care about what we doing.
They don't.
They don't.
Nobody.
They completely. I tell my mom that. She was like, my neighbor, blah blah blah. I'm like, Mommy, he don't care about you,
Here's a
baby.
random
I'm
example.
sorry.
That fits perfectly. It's squirrel-ish, but it's not. It's not a big squirrel. So
Wombat.
I'm
sorry.
wait.
Not a wombat. Say that back and listen to her just say it's a wombat. It's okay.
It wouldn't stay inside me.
It's okay.
So right.
So hence nobody cares. So upstairs in our house, there's this one window in front of the house. It stays open constantly. I need airflow. I just do. My biology says I need constant air flowing around me.
So let there be
I need
flow.
the fan here, these windows, that window, so there's a cross breeze. I require it.
It's called
Tap
geometry.
Yes.
Listen, tap it into your Tony Braxton. Let it flow.
Yes,
Right,
please.
right,
It's
right.
alright. It's gonna work out right, you know. So that window stays open. The blinds are open. The windows open. The curtains are open. It's open. So while I'm getting, dressed or whatever in the morning, my wonderful dear husband says, "Hey, close that window because people can see." What people?
Right.
No, there's a tree on the tree lawn. If I look out that window, there's a tree that blocks the neighbor's view of whatever's happening here. If you're standing on the street and you look up, the trajectory of the look.
Hello, yes, geometry.
You cannot see. So it's like the perception of you think, and ain't nobody checking for me walking to go get deodorant.
They not. I keep telling the people about the same thing.
Nobody cares and nobody's looking.
They don't.
And
They don't
remember,
care.
did I mention on the second floor? It's upstairs.
Right.
Yeah.
So that part.
It's not even the front. It's,
No, it's
so
not the
a
living
naked
room.
downstairs.
It's upstairs.
It's upstairs.
And so that part, it's like the perception is like, no.
Yeah.
So whatever's happening to make your household run, it doesn't matter who's doing it, as long as it's getting done.
Yeah.
But then taking on that persona of, if I am these roles, I'm supposed to be doing these things, and that's it. Nobody else can do them.
How terrible
It's
is
the
that?
dumbest thing ever. But I've learned it. I'm learning it. I ain't learned it. In the process of learning it. But it's all about that ebb and flow and that dynamic, and it's okay. It's okay to go to bed with a complete sink full of dishes.
It sure is.
Indeed.
I've been proving that for
And I mean,
40
So now-
long years.
been to my house several times. It's always a dish.
Not
It'll
me.
get done.
It will get done.
It will get done,
Right.
exactly. But it's okay. Like
And it's not gonna hurt anybody.
No.
no.
Sunday after church, it'll be fine.
If you had shards of glass on the floor and invited people in to be barefoot, that's a problem.
That's the problem.
But that's not what you. But no
it's
sensible person
literally
will
a
do
cooked
that.
dinner and didn't clean the dinner dishes, and I
'Cause
went to bed. And because I was tired.
Because sometimes it's time to go to bed.
It
And look,
was.
you gotta find what works for you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what I'm like discovering now. Like, and we were just talking about this like moments before that, like control. Control. I want to be in control of everything, and it's crazy because it's more so my personal life than it is in my profession. My professional, I'm like, I'm trying to empower everybody. I'm like, yeah, you gonna do that, you got it.
She's a visionary.
But this is self-proclaimed. Like, that's not a dig.
Visionary. It should be on your
Love
placard
it.
outside of your office.
I'm a visionary.
Complete and utter visionary.
I appreciate that, but in my personal, I'm like,
Is it tight?
it's so tight, and I'm trying to figure out like not even trying. I'm in training.
Training, not trying.
Come on, training.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay,
Figuring that out
good,
and
that's the
doing
book.
the things to say, like, you know what? I don't need to be in control of that. It's okay. It's okay if it don't go a certain way or some don't happen right. Or guess what? What if everything happens exactly how it's supposed to happen in all the best ways, and I let that control go?
That's amazing.
Like, I just be over, like last night, I'm just lying in bed, 1 o'clock in the morning, just overthinking stuff. Like, is it, and I'm like, girl, go to sleep. And then I started quoting scripture in my head, like, man, do not worry. And then as a good friend of mine says, don't borrow trouble.
Come on.
We just talked about this. Don't borrow trouble.
So, let me mind the business that pays me.
Yeah.
And stay in my doggone lane.
I need to
create scenarios.
Yeah.
Oh, in the worst scenario. Right. What's that about?
Why don't we create the best scenarios? Like,
Right.
why doesn't that? Do you ever create the best? Like, create the best scenarios? Like, oh, if this happens, ooh, this, and ooh, then ooh, then ooh, as opposed to you just create the most catastrophic thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, especially, I think when it comes to relationships, because I feel like I'm in a place now where I'm free of the burden of being the caregiver. So, and I am, unfortunately, there's a lot of us single women, a lot of my friends that I went to school with, we are single, and so I find myself talking to my friends, and I'm amazed at how it speaks to our creativity, and like, all this good education that we got. Think of this scenario that I have a girlfriend that will come to me and she'll be like, well, what if he, and I'm like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
What if he's,
Right.
just, he put his phone down and he didn't text you back, like, it doesn't, like, I think we have a way of sort of thinking of these catastrophic ends to things when, we do, part of, letting go is just letting things happen naturally and being able to just really, in the relationship space, probably be more masculine, if you want to use that, term, and like they do. I have my guy friends, they just date like
Willy-nilly.
just
Anywhere.
oh yeah, she didn't call me back, but I'm going out with this other chick. Like
We don't do that as
we
much as
don't
they
do
do.
that.
No,
We
Yeah.
be focused on one person. Well, we gonna
And there has to be a period of that
Dissect.
sentence
Right, yeah.
before
And
you
we
gotta
build
dissect
it
it.
out,
and then we
everybody
start to
else.
build it, right? So it's
Yeah.
this dude and it's this scenario and it's this thing and it's
But
like, wait.
you said a word. You said dissect. So what are you?
Ooh.
Is that the friend that says, well, he didn't call back? You're like, well, maybe he put his phone down. But
Right.
she's like, well, what? It must be this and it must be that. And it must be this.
He
And
might
that.
talk to
and I'm
this
not
like-
saying that I was never that person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Right.
I think the beauty of getting to 45 is to be like, okay,
Whatever.
all right.
Because I think that the dynamic thing is, I have something else to do.
That's the
Right,
other
yeah.
part.
It's like,
Yeah, life is lifing.
Yeah.
So
let's live it.
right.
Let's
So
live it.
yeah, I don't have, if I'm gonna put energy into something, it can't be that. I said to my therapist, as because her thing is keeping myself out there. So yeah, that's part of this.
Yeah.
You gotta keep yourself out there. Okay,
Come on,
yeah.
come on, speak it,
Like it's almost-
speak it.
Like,
But I was like, I just need an easy conversation.
mm.
This is what I'm looking for. So again, if working is, takes a lot out of me, I don't want, I want to use grind, but I don't want to have that same type of energy
Yeah.
for my relationship.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
I want it to be easier. There are always going to be things that
Yes.
you have to work on in a
Yeah,
relationship,
yeah,
but
yeah.
let's just start, let the conversation come easy. Let
Yeah.
the interaction come easy,
Yeah.
and then let the other stuff we have plenty of time to talk about money and whatever else may come if we decide to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
Correct.
But I don't want to take all that on, because again, I think women, we talk about the strength thing, we want to take it all on. We don't have to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just let it.
You
That's
need
it.
to
And I
take
was
on
gonna
the.
ask
Go
you.
ahead.
I was gonna ask you because you're dropping gems, and I hope everybody is like picking them up, like right, and saving them. Like for real, put it in your safety box, your security box, and, you know.
Like Zelda.
Wow.
Wait,
Like Zelda.
Reference, I had to say that it was in my throat.
It was in
Wombat.
you.
it was right here. You gotta let it out.
Like Zelda.
Shout out to the gamers. I am a gamer.
Like respect it. I respect.
Respect.
So, but you're saying so much, and and I'm sitting here thinking like, is that coming from a place of strength? So when we talk about the control, and this is gonna sound really odd, but is our control coming from a place of strength because we don't want to be weak if we relinquish that control? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I let go, if I allow myself to be free, that then opens me up to be vulnerable.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if I'm vulnerable, my weaknesses now have more ability to be exposed.
Yeah, I'm not protected.
I'm not protected.
Ooh.
Nothing is worse than
So-
not feeling unprotected.
Just a thought, just a question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just throwed it out there.
I was thinking about what Nikki said too, because we'll a lot of times, and I know it's been a really long time since I've been single, but a lot of times what women do, and I think what Black women do, is we take on successes and failures of everything around us.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Big projects at work, your children, and whatever trajectory life puts in front of them, we take that on. The professional development of, your partner possibly, and all of those things we feel like almost rides on us.
Right.
And then that taps into, if you think about it like this, faith. Like if all that rides on me, then what am I giving to God? Absolutely nothing.
Ooh.
Because you telling God, it's cool. I know you got, famine and war to deal with. I got this down here.
Right.
And I
he like, no.
no, stupid.
Right.
like you got it for real, you sure?
Yeah, you don't have.
And then he'll show you how much,
You don't.
Oh, he'll
Don't
show you.
have, sure.
Listen, when they was
how much you don't have it.
Yeah.
And so bad.
when
Like your faith can't come with a safety net.
No, there's no net.
There's no net.
There's no net. Look at us circling back.
Golly.
To the great Melinda.
I did. How did so many things just fall out? I'm sorry.
And it's there. And it's there.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, there's no net.
Yeah.
Or he's the
That
net.
part.
That's
He is the
and,
net.
and that's
that's what he's saying.
all the time. All the time.
Come unto me, those who are heavy laden and burdened, and I will give
But we're
you
looking for that
rest.
physical.
Tells you
We're
what to
looking for that
do.
on the ground.
Like-
net.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what to do. Hey,
Yeah.
give it to me. I got it. And you're like, no. I got it,
Or
Lord.
you go-
Wait.
No, you go snotting at the foot of the cross.
Oh God! Wait, why being so heavy, Lord?
Wait, here you go.
I promise I won't do it again.
Here you go. You lay it all at the cross. You be like, oh, and you just lay it on. Then you be like, and then you pick it back up,
And you leave and walk off.
the cross, the foot of the cross is empty. It's only there while you're there, and when you leave, you pick it up
And take you with you.
and take it back
Ooh,
with you.
yes, all the time.
A
All the-
word
all
on
the time.
today.
All the time.
A
All
word.
the
All the
time.
time.
All the time.
It's like, and I have literally been talking myself into surrender since summertime, since I've been home, and I'm like, because I'm in the car, and I said this to our oldest. I'm like, hey, how you talk, in period, is how you talk to God.
Mm.
There is no our Father. Like there's no. I don't know what that was.
I was gonna ask you.
Like,
I think I said first.
It sounded like King James. I wasn't sure.
Right. But all the vowels and these and those and this and thuses. You don't need that. There's no posture.
There we go.
That's what I'm like, however you say it, God can handle it.
Totally.
Like he can totally. I'm driving in the car like I'm talking on the Bluetooth.
Yeah,
But
like
I'm
to
talking- but I'm
anybody.
talking to
Yeah.
God. I'm like, hey, God, this something for you to do, cause I ain't got it.
Yeah.
And you gon' and I tell him all the time when we go back to the famous story and the burning bush. And I'm like, you gonna have to burn the bush on this one. You gonna have to speak to me from the bush because I'm not doing nothing until you speak.
Yeah.
And I mean it. And I'm like, and I'm not being disrespectful or irreverent, but it's literally my personality, and I'm like, the fact that I know you got this. And sometimes I'll be in the middle of that mental gameplay of, or I just prettied it up, manipulation.
Yeah.
If I say this, if I do that, and I be like, nope, that's not for me to do. It's not for me to do, because when I put my hands in it, I had already messed it up with my thoughts. I've already messed it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's in my flesh. So
because
like,
that's what we're made of, right?
Exactly. But in that moment, it's like, it's not for me to do, God. I need to be quiet. And you didn't make me to be quiet, so you're going to have to help me. Because I'll say at home, I'm like, Jay, you know I'm a talker. He'd be like, I know.
Oh, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I tell you the same thing. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm down here trying to figure stuff out.
But it's okay.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Like, hey,
He's
I
like,
talk enough for everybody. So
Right.
but it's fine. Like I said, I talk for a living. Like, hello. Before I was even a teacher, I just talk a lot. Like, it's just a lot. And so I'm like, but in some spaces, I need to learn how to be quiet, and I struggle with that, because I'm like, if I don't say something, if I don't do something, is it going to be okay? And the answer is yes. But however that looks.
And that's a strength and control thing.
It is. Because I told our oldest, I said, hey, I don't have an answer for you about this particular thing. I said, it might just have to be messed up right now until it's better. And when I said that, I was like, whoa. Because I'm telling her, I'm not going to be your mouthpiece and the go-between, because my therapist said that I'm a buffer. I'm a peace. What is it?
Peacekeeper.
I'm a peace make. Oh no, which is the wrong one? Which is the bad one? Peacekeeper or peacemaker?
Me, both of them have advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, because sometimes a keeper means that you're just suppressing.
You're
suppressing.
With everything.
Yeah, whichever one where I'm like, hey, I just want peace at all the costs. Sometimes,
but it usually costs you.
Yeah. Well,
or
yes, because it's manufactured peace. That's what I'm
saying.
Right,
exactly.
Because it's like if
it's a facade.
It's a facade.
As
opposed to letting it do its thing and then letting it be however messed up it is, and then it's going to be okay after that, because it's just life. And it's not, and I get uncomfortable in those spaces, because I'm like, well, I can fix it. Let's talk about it. Let's do this.
And everybody feel better if we just.
And I'm like, you know what? No. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't. I do want to talk it out, but not where I am manufacturing this. It's like, let's talk about it with solutions in mind. And I think that's, because to me, I'm just like, well, let's just get over it. And it's like, that's not healthy.
Because there's a difference between peace and quiet.
Say it again.
Is the difference between peace and just quiet.
Yes.
Quiet, because because I can be volatile at times.
No.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, because me and June Cleaver, I read from the book of June Cleaver. But when I burn hot, what happens in my house is not peace. It's quiet. And when folks are kind of not so much side-eyeing you, but like, don't say nothing. You hear the whispers in the kids' room. Or you hear your husband going there. Your mother. All you hear is your mother, and and then I'm like, oh, good Lord, I've created this. And I want it quiet, but I don't want it quiet. What I want is peace. I want it peaceful. And quiet is never a good substitute. Because quiet just means what you've done is shut everybody else down. Oh, them poor kids. Okay.
Come on.
I'm figure it out.
It's okay.
It's the same thing, like that kind of that manufactured peace. It's not all. It's not. It's just quiet.
It's just quiet, and it's like, ooh, I I can operate in this, but not really because
No, it's
One false move.
girl, and it all blows up.
It's still simmering.
Yeah.
It's just under the surface.
Say one thing.
That's it.
Before you know, you're driving the car through your backyard and not your neighbor's driveway, and you bust your tires.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait.
I've seen this happen.
Oh,
Okay, because I'm like, that sounds like all too real.
I've done it, but I was there when it happened.
I was there when it happened. All right.
And my mother told me, and to piggyback off of what you said again, my mother told me something the other day, and I'm trying to let it simmer and marinate and stick with me because I'm not good at it. She's like, every state is temporary.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Lord,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm like,
Thank you
are
for
you
that.
sure? She's like, yeah.
Pretty much.
Kind of like I've done the legwork.
You had been there.
Yeah. I was like, and that's true because I remember, like, and if you think about it, you go back, remember all the stuff we thought would break us.
Oh, God.
The grades,
Yes.
the grade that you didn't get,
Yep.
Yeah.
the boy who ran off, the spot you didn't get, the job you didn't get, and you're like, this is it.
Wow.
You survived all of your worst days.
You
Yeah.
survived
All
so
of them.
many, like, and here's the thing, and you can't, 9 times out of 10, we come out better,
Yeah.
or at least more informed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't ever do
Grow.
that again in that.
You grow from it.
Right.
That's important. That's
And
Which
you
is another kind of
become
strength.
stronger.
Growth.
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 Right.
With an F.
I mean,
With an F.
my
GROFE.
my
Yeah.
pastor, my pastor talks
There we
about. Shout out to Reverend CCJ,
She's wonderful.
South Euclid.
Golly.
I started following her. I just
Yeah.
every time it comes up, I'm like, I'm listening.
So, you know, little known facts. I used to babysit my own pastor.
Wow.
You
Yes.
the math person.
Wow.
But she talks about her favorite saying is nothing compares to a long walk with God.
Ooh.
And I just, you know, the beauty of getting older is being able to reflect on the things that you have been through and understanding God's plan. You know, when I was in the thick of my mother's illness and it just seemed like nothing was going right, and I said, you know, that's I think when I started to fall into this surrender mode, and I said, Lord, blow my mind. Blow my mind. That was my prayer. I was like, blow my mind. And sure enough, I mean, despite all of the illness, we still got to go to Hilton Head. It's like God healed her enough so she could go on one last trip, right? And then God healed her enough where she could, you know, certain things we would do and go and make those memories. And I'm so thankful that we had that time. And I was like, you have blown my mind. Because, you know, a week ago, I didn't think we was going to be here.
Yeah.
But we are here, you know, or when I thought I was going to have to put her in assisted living and I knew she was not going to go for that. I said, "Now, Lord, she ain't gonna go for this.
You know your
I
daughter.
need you right
Hear me out.
right. I need blow my mind, blow my mind." Or even when, you know, the help, right, and then you know the people that you thought were gonna be there, they disappear, and then I say, you know, again, I'm like, blow my mind, and I'm like, wait a minute, Sinitra, Jason, can y'all go get me some rock salt? That's all I need. And it's there. You know, lean into those folks that will stand in the gap for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that you know, that is the beauty of sort of like, you know, as we talk about strength, like understanding where the real strength comes from.
Yeah.
And, you know, leaning into those folks that will be there for you and, you know, can help you through those times because it's really it's right there. God places everything that you need around you. You just got to lean into it, you know. But yeah, that was I would like blow my mind, and it without fail, you know, even in the death, even in her death, you know, it's like no pain, no, you know, like it was, you know, I didn't want her to suffer. I didn't want her to be here for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And so I said, this is your will, guys. It can't be mine. And so, you know, I think that the beauty of, like I said, getting older and just, you know, seeing all the, like, 5 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd have been here, I'd have been like, what? I lost my mama, you know, like that was my road dog, this was my girl, you know. But I said this at the funeral. I said I didn't understand blessed assurance until this moment. You know, we talk about it, but you know, to feel it and know that, you know, we're good. I'm good.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
You know, my dad is good. So like they're together. You know, all of that.
Hashtag air
Hashtag air bear. Yes.
Insider. Sorry. Yes.
That's all right. That's all right. We still here with you. But
Hashtag didn't know.
one, like, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
really.
And it just makes me think about something that we talked about before, which is getting out God's way.
Oh yes.
And in a season of what could have been filled with just so much immense pain that it could have caused other things like a state of depression in this vortex of just getting lower and lower and lower in life, you actually stepped out of the way and you were still. And so it wasn't only just being quiet, it was moving and then sitting still. And that, I mean, that's beyond strength. That's trust. That's faith.
Yes.
Ooh.
Beyond strength is trust.
Can we put that on a t-shirt? I hope you write that down.
We got like 4 t-shirts today.
That's all right. Don't worry.
Right.
You know what's going on.
She has her notes. Scroll.
Yeah.
8
No, she
scrolls
right.
later. She's not. That's not an exaggeration. She has notes that are.
That's all right.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
we do. See, we know that's right. We got
See,
all
that you
kinds
put
of-
on there.
Yeah, put that in there. But for real. And that I'm amazed with, because I find some of the simplest tasks that I can't get out of my own way. You
Yes.
feel me?
Yeah.
And I be so confused.
And frustrated.
I'm like,
It makes you.
frustrated.
It makes you. What it does is make you frustrated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I be like, girl, move out the way.
Well, you know, one thing that my therapist shared with me, and you know, because we Black women we're granular, right? We want to get all the stuff together, and then when one thing falls apart, it's like,
Girl.
oh my gosh. And so like I remember saying to my therapist, I was like, I mean, I feel like I am building a house of cards, and if a gust of wind comes by, it's just gonna blow everything down. And she was like, ooh, you're actually building scaffolding. And I was like, what? And because I was kind of mad. I was like, what do you mean scaffolding? What are you talking about?
They challenge
She
us.
was like, you know, scaffolding is thin, but it's sturdy. You know, she said, you see the scaffolding inside the building?
Okay.
It's sturdy. She was like, there are bones there.
Okay.
She said, you know, because I felt like all this stuff, you know, because I felt like every time my mother went back to the hospital, I was like, oh my gosh, like everything I'm doing. She was like, no, she said, you redid your mother's will. You got, you know, power of attorney. You got, you know, she was like, you got all these little things that you're putting in place.
Yeah.
She was like, you have a structure,
Yeah.
you know, so acknowledge that,
Yes.
you know, because I was like, it's like everything's just, it's like a gust of wind. She was like, and you know, right, and you know, therapists have a way of, you know, making you, like, no.
Or they look at you like,
Right.
So you're fine.
Yeah, so like,
But you need that. Like
yeah,
if you have
yeah, and you
that
somebody
will
like
hold your hand and twirl around like a tornado with you. You will.
That's not. Yeah,
it
nobody's
was
getting
that-
anywhere.
Exactly.
Right.
No.
Twirling.
Just digging a
by
hole in
yourself.
it. That's it.
Tasmanian devil.
Exactly. Tearing up stuff.
Wait,
That's what he does.
But
That's how the
It's
Tasmanian
fine. I just need you to do it one more time.
Right.
It's organic in the moment. But and you don't understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that goes with it. You're doing things
Yeah.
that are illogical.
Crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna thank my therapist tomorrow when I see her. I'm like, my bad, cause I got on you one day because you said something I ain't like.
I'm
negative thing. I was
literally
like,
looking for
I
a
ain't-
new, because mine wasn't. She was, and this is not gonna sound strange to people who go to therapy, but she wasn't putting me in a position where I needed to do the work. Like it was literally, I would literally go and talk,
and then
leave, and I'm like, I can do that with one of my friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And but it never got
You
to.
needed the charge. You needed the challenge.
Yes, and I never got that. And then I'm
Yeah.
looking at Jay, he's telling me all the great things he's doing in therapy, and I'm like, wow, I want to dig deep. I want to understand me as a little me, and then I want to do that. At least approach it, because I'm like,
how long had you gone to work?
how long should I have gone before she got to the work? Like, I feel judged. Like, did I leave too soon?
So this is what I'm finding. I mean, I don't know, but at first, when I first started going to my therapist, because of course in my head what it was not what it was, because she's, I'm here or here, and just this is me, and she's super steady, which is again somebody I would need to talk to. So we talked, and she asked me about my family, and it was just a lot of me just talking about me at first, and then I said some stuff. I said something. She was like, "Why haven't we talked about that before now?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not like she can mine my brain for all the crazy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, whatever you want to call it, but she can't mine out all the crazy, because some things I'm gonna have to tell her about."
Yeah.
And I did share something with her, and of course, I believed in my inherent rightness. And she was not on board.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what you mean? Trained therapist? I'm wrong?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Ma'am, I'm older than you. Ain't no way on God's green earth that you right and I'm wrong. And then I was like, she would like, she serves me these bits that I'm certain she knows is getting like back here as opposed to up here and then gone. So but it took a little time. And I'm not saying you left too soon, because if you felt, I completely believe in that thing that is in you that's like, you know that thing that gets, like I got on the plane once, and this man had started to cut up, and I was like, hey, here's the thing, y'all gonna have to let me get up immediately. And I got off the plane. Nothing happened to the plane, but again, nothing happened to me either.
Right.
So, I say trust that thing, but yeah, it took a little.
Your discernment is.
I just didn't feel like it was going anywhere.
And you're not you've never been a judgy. Well, not that I've ever known you to be like a judgy person. Are you a judgy person? Okay. I mean, I know I can be. So I'm gonna just put that out
To
there.
the people I've judged, I am. I'm kidding. No, I am not a judgy person.
But like for someone in that position, I mean, I would think that you would kind of give over a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You have a strong opinion.
Exactly. I can't see any of us not having a strong opinion about.
Well, you talk about this word judge. People say only God can judge me. No, only God can condemn you. Ooh, I can judge you all day.
Wait. You get paid off of this. We right now.
People say that all the time. I was like, will y'all stop listening to Tupac?
From the book of Tupac.
From the book of Tupac.
Not the book of Tupac.
I was like, we make judgments every day. I can judge whether it's hot or not outside and say, oh, I'm going to wear a tank top today because it is hot.
They love truncating scripture. They'll cut it off right there. It's like, hold on, did you read the other half of that?
Right. Can you show that again? Because I want to make sure you get credit.
Williams.
I mean, because I understand about, intellectual property.
Come on.
She see that best on the t-shirt like,
I'll be saying that.
Tiffany, I know you didn't steal 3,000 of them t-shirts of that thing I said to you 6 months ago. And I ain't saying
and I did. So the name of the grind X out align t-shirt is the ignorant intellectual.
The
ignorant intellectual. It's my girl Shoni. Shout out to her.
I love that. Oh, well,
You can find it on Instagram.
Listen,
wait, what did spell check do? Change it to infant?
It changed to infant.
I
was trying 3 times.
We
ignorant intellectual.
Ignorant. I love that.
I'll be
I love
that real quick. Buying me a couple of
She's
them
awesome.
items.
I have a squirrel.
Yeah.
You have to cut this out probably.
Oh,
So I text my sister.
I cut nothing.
Okay, so then here it is.
Like a girl whose wig fell off the back of the couch.
My
And
God.
you remember the first thing she said? She was like, nigga.
I died.
I died.
Every time I see, I've seen it probably 4,000 times. And
Me
I
too.
laugh every
Because her
time.
face, she was
Like,
like,
I can't even reach it.
Right. You know, stretching back.
Oh.
My God.
I put that word in a text to my sister. And why did it keep capitalizing? It kept capitalizing in IGGA. I was like,
That's not a proper name.
wait. So my sister challenged me on it. She was like, no, that's right. I was like, really quickly. She was like, it's a noun. I said, yeah, but it's not a pronoun.
Right.
She was like, oh, yep, you're right. I was like, well, first of all, we're going to have to talk about you and pronouns. Because you 37.
And
Two,
So,
Apple,
right.
Apple, what are you saying?
And Apple, what are you saying?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Apple, what you saying?
So you feel like because you capitalize it, you put some respect on it? What's
Are you sure you ain't got a name in your phone that
Oh, I hope not.
that has that in the beginning? Because you know sometimes when they capitalize.
that would be something
She
right
said,
there.
let me rethink that.
Yeah, let me
No,
go back
okay,
in my
give me
phone.
because I don't.
Let me type it.
Because if somebody sent that to me, I would change it immediately to the name. Because I just don't want that in my phone as a proper name. I don't want that. But yeah, I was like, yeah, Apple, what you? Because don't forget, it just started doing it with black. So if you put black and then people,
Right.
it makes your B capitalized.
Capitalized.
I've never noticed.
But maybe if you're just, so here's a thought. We'll keep going down that hole. If it's the
I'm
first,
sorry. I
if
just
it's
said
the
squirrel.
first word, is it capitalized in the beginning because they think it's the beginning of a sentence?
It's not.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Continue.
I'm about to say, I heard you just spell that. I said, is it in the middle? She said,
Oh,
yeah.
oh
Yeah,
shoot!
right.
I missed that part.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
apologize. I
Yeah,
wasn't
what kind of?
Really listening.
But die.
Oh, got it.
It's like,
Oh.
and it was like, wait, is there just one? And maybe we don't know the supreme. And like,
Dr.
but wait.
Kumar. No, I'm just kidding.
But you stop. But yes.
Oh, yeah. That
Oh,
was
I'm
so
sorry.
good.
That was
probably, yeah.
That was so good. Oh, I
You know what? Is
live.
it wrong that every time I see him, I think to the east backwards?
I
it
live
wrong?
for that, Nikki. Thank you. Oh,
To the east backwards.
oh,
She's been popping up in the Twitter timeline a lot too.
Nice.
Recently, I was like, oh,
Sir.
bruh. Although I kind of, the last stuff, I was like, I kind of agree with him on that. And when I agree with him, I be mad at myself.
Me too. Both things
But-
can be true, right?
Right. I mean, even
So-
the clock is right twice.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Twice
even the
a day,
clock
twice.
is right twice a day.
So,
Now we know. Now we know.
oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, that was my contribution for today. Apple, what you want?
Exactly. Something speak to it.
Tell
Who do we
me
call?
something good.
What do we call at the Apple? Steve gone.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's a long distance call. You can't get to him.
Stop. Just stop it.
You're
On
not
the
gonna
main
give me
line.
a decent young fly look, right?
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
on the main line.
Because he is not. Because he's not on the main line. I wouldn't think that he
That's
was on.
right.
I didn't think Steve would be on the main line.
No.
I don't
No.
know. I can't judge nobody walk. I don't know. Folk
Oh,
may
you
not-
know what?
folk may not think I'm on the main line.
You know.
Oh, my
Ooh.
I am though.
Okay. You got no problem.
Yeah, nobody can pluck me out of my father's hand. Don't mess with me.
Look at that
I belong
confidence.
to Jesus. I belongs to him.
And it's funny. I'm reading a book called Stand from the Beginning, and that's all I can think.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sealed to the day of redemption.
In
Would
the
you like-
beginning.
In the beginning.
Way too much
Sorry.
Instagram reels, way too much TikTok. Like, I feel so bad. Like, when
Yeah,
I
with
tell
2
you
hours, I
time
feel like
is
2
not
hours.
in existence, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm like, oh God, it's 8:13. I mean, girl, you've been up since 6:12. What is you
Yeah.
doing? Like,
Are you
stop.
still
Yes.
horizontal?
You
You've been up for an hour and a half.
I need to not have my phone on my nightstand.
But
Same.
maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
that's what we need to just
It is summer.
kind of
Ish.
decompress.
And then-
Now, I'm not saying go down a rabbit hole and be on
Yeah,
there
I
for
got-
3
I
hours.
gotta do better with
But sometimes we just need that surrender, that
Allow
peace,
myself.
that rest, and everything is so heavy and like
oh
like,
my
all the
God.
like
time.
my hammock.
Like your hammock.
Hammock
You
Chronicles is a good thing.
You be in pure joy.
I
With
do.
your little pose, like, okay, it's day 2, y'all. Let's see what we gonna do right here, okay?
The hammock is life, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for next week when I can just lay in the hammock and sway in the hammock.
Yeah. And
Did you
do
Tabitha Brown?
what you do.
I'm
Hello.
yeah, I'm going to. I can't drink coffee in the hammock because I can't sit up because I'll fall out of the hammock. But
That's not true.
Physics.
But it don't work. The hammock showed me quick who was boss. It said, "Girl, you need to
Flipped
respect.
over and
You need to
wound up.
respect my gravity."
And we all have, we talked about this, limitations.
Yeah, I gotta move.
So yes.
Move slow out the hammock. In the hammock. Somebody tried to get in my hammock because I'm telling you, it was a random hat in my grass.
What?
I'm telling you, I walked.
So you think a neighbor been in your hammock?
Wait a minute. Me and Jay walking outside.
Sharing.
I said, whose hat is that? He said, I don't know. I thought it was Kristen's hat. I said, Kristen ain't got no hat like that. The hammock was here, the hat was there, which in my mind, I created this imagery where somebody tried to sit in the hammock and it flipped them out and the hat flew off and they
ran away.
And they had to hurry up and run away because they were supposed to be in the hammock in the first place.
See, in my head goes somewhere else. But I'm not going to discuss
I
this
made
with you
that up.
today.
I don't know if it's true, but the hat.
They had created a whole story. Go ahead.
Right.
It-
I know
it-
that's
it- it-
How
it's
else did
your-
the hat
Hammock
get
big.
there?
you know, hey,
It's
your
not my
world.
hat.
I'm just living in it.
I
That's
don't
it.
have a hat head, so it's not my hat.
All right.
What you mean?
Yeah,
Never
nah.
mind.
The
Never mind.
circumference of my head.
Okay, here we
is-
go. I knew she was gonna go
Big.
there.
So was mine.
I don't wear hats. I can't.
You could.
No,
You don't want to?
I can't.
You don't want
They
to.
squeeze my head and I get a headache.
Every hat.
Every hat.
Every hat.
You've tried every single one.
Jesus Christ. I have been I've had this head for so long.
I know my hair.
There's
I
so
do.
many hats. They come in different sizes.
I can't.
Exactly.
Fedoras don't work for me.
And
And I have thick hair. So the hair adds to the circumference of my head.
Circumference.
Okay. You know what? Let's find that in
She's an
Webster.
educator. She knows stuff.
That is in the Roscoe's study.
I
Not scripts, but Roscoe's.
I almost feel like
Who gonna fact check me? Boo.
now I feel like I'm being challenged because I feel like I need to produce a hat for you that I'm almost certain
point all along.
that I'm certain that you could fit.
Well, challenge accepted. I mean,
Well, your birthday is next year. Your big birthday's next year.
it is.
Now, it won't be the birthday
It'll
where
be
you
the
know,
whole month.
as it should
It'll
be.
start spring break, and then which is in March. But
I'm
it's
fine
in.
for your big birthday next
She's
year.
gonna call off for 2 months next year.
One
Can
thing
you
I
call
one
off
thing
for
I-
2 months?
One thing I don't do.
It's called off.
Right, I don't call off,
And
and I don't take my birthday off.
oh,
Right,
mm.
and this
Is there a
doesn't
reason
and
why?
this doesn't rub off. I am black.
I mean, I don't take. I haven't taken off my birthday in a long time, but somehow it always, would fall in a way that,
You off? Ish.
or they're like, okay, bye Tim, have a great day, enjoy your day, which I love.
Oh, they'll send you home?
Yeah, I've been sitting home a bunch of times on my birthday.
Aw.
Like
I
after a
didn't even know
party,
I need.
like after work party, they're like, we gave you cupcakes. Be out, enjoy your day. Yeah,
Now she looking at me like, why don't I just?
why should I have cupcakes and be out? You should have cupcakes
I
and
work,
be out.
I work in a school.
Do I have? Can we protest?
No,
They gonna protest?
We have.
Not we. It would just be me. I would be like outside. Let my pumpkin go with a sign.
Let my people-
When Sinitra was in Cleveland, yeah, whatever, the municipality. That whatever land that is.
So I'm going
Let
to
my
make a hard
pumpkin
left to
go.
get back on track. Because I forgot
Oh,
who was
that
recording.
pivot.
That pivot was.
That was funny.
Wow.
That was an about face.
Yeah.
There's a word. I think I know the word. I'm just gonna say the word. It's not like circumferential. That may or may not be a word.
It's not.
But I wanted to talk about intersectionality.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yes. Because and I was
Great DEI buzzwords.
oh.
Ain't it
Yeah,
though?
they sure are.
Get into it.
DEI, yeah.
Intersectionality.
Right, and so
Say it.
I think I know like the iceberg tip portion of the word. Like I know what intersectionality means.
Mm-hmm.
But in the realm of strength, like how does that play
Oh,
in our intersectionality? I guess that means like where the roles in our lives where they cross. Is
Mhm.
that did I
that's
get that right?
yeah.
Mhm.
That's where it is.
I might be smart a little. Just a little bit.
Smart.
Smart.
You smart a lot.
I smart a lot. You ain't
Smart
smart
a
really.
lot.
Thank you.
Smart. You was
So-
kind. You was
You was
important.
important.
Oh, Viola.
Stay focused.
Yeah, don't start snotting from your
No,
nose.
golly, no. Any award? Every time. Every time. Sorry.
Intersectionality.
Yes, because then I think that our ability to, because at the point where our is the word identities or what's the
Mhm.
okay
Mhm.
where they cross and intersect is the perception of our strength multiplied, meaning
Ooh.
if I am I'm gonna go here, if I am
Mm-hmm.
a black female oldest child in a family dynamic, all three of those things together, when they cross at that point, is it like I super got it because I'm the oldest? Because I'm gonna name it as it's been told to me in my family. I'm the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to college. I got a good job. You've been living in your house for 20 whatever years. All of those things that intersect those facts about me.
Mm-hmm.
So that has just taken my level of she got itness up tenfold, exponential. Like it's increased exponentially is what I'm trying to say. Because of, but not because sometimes I embody that because it's been said to me so many times and that's a perception.
Yeah.
But it is the outward perception of all of those things
Mm-hmm.
because you've done those things that you're not phased.
What part of
You don't need as much help as you don't have to do like all of those things. And then it's like, well then if I don't walk in that or I get to the point where I completely lose it on somebody because how you gonna tell me that I shouldn't that someone's passing didn't impact me as much as this person because of all of these things. Yeah.
Yeah, part of that is societal, and
Oh,
part of
yeah.
that I'm gonna go all the way here. Part of that is also capitalism.
Unpack that.
We base a lot of who we are, and and maybe not even on purpose, by what we have.
Okay.
When you in a house, when you have a car, it triggers to society, especially a capitalistic society, that I have the trappings of an adult that has it together. I must be dependable. I own a house. I've been in it for 20 years. Because think about it, we're not nomads.
Yeah.
But whoever said that a nomad wasn't a whole full person? And that's the capitalistic part. For us, it all is so. I want to say it's American capitalism or Western capitalism because other people have capitalism, but they don't have staggering debt and the death rates that black women have when they give birth, or that women have at all when they give birth, and the kind of healthcare issues we have. It's so much of what we have is because of that profit churning thing that we've all been a part of our whole lives. So I must have it together.
Yep.
Just so, what is a successful business does what? It turns a profit. Are we saying that no nonprofits are successful?
That's a great.
So like all of that's in nonprofits almost they almost have to not have anything. If they A lot of nonprofits, if they have too much money on the books, they get in trouble.
Yeah,
They lose their status.
Right.
Sure do.
You can't be a nonprofit anymore. You making money. Now we want you to be part of the other structure. But that does, it kind of just signals to society. First of all, you went to college. You have a whole job, not even just a job, a career. That's also something else that we very much care about. I know you guys, I think, are a little bit younger than us, but just a little. But all of us know this. Remember people who were at their job for 40 years?
Yes, my mother. And my aunt just retired from Cleveland Clinic for 42 years. She worked there.
But
Uncle and auntie,
but that's what we grew up in.
Yeah.
You get a job, you get an education, and you get a job. You stay there. That's your stability. That's your base. Hopefully, you can stay there forever. And some people tell you to be grateful for it. There's that. So then we go out and do the thing. You went to college, so get married, buy a house, have a kid, and all these things signal to society, I got it together. Which we already know is completely not true, because there's a whole bunch of rich, broken folks out, real broken.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Very.
But we never talk about the fact but we think that what they have signals that they have it together. Think about how often they say, you hear people say, well, she just looks like she has it all together. How does she do it?
Yeah.
She doesn't.
She does. Some do.
She does.
But
she's the tip of the iceberg. You see
exactly what we see is the tip.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is the fact that society says, oh, she can do it. She can handle it. Because she's done all this other work.
Yeah.
And they don't know what you went through to get through college, or how many late nights and how many overnight jobs you had to have so you could take little jokers to school in the morning and get 20 minutes of sleep. So, or even a college campus, especially if you didn't go to, say the thing. HBCU.
Oh, I was like, HBCU?
Like, what is the thing? I was thinking of predominantly white institutions. That's tough. And nobody ever talks about that.
Proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
Ohio University, I don't know if I would have ever succeeded there by myself without any of my friends there. And I didn't. I came home. And my mother was like, you were so sad. She's like, yes. Whatever. But all these things signal, see, and to society at large, me leaving signal failure. When what it should have signaled was rest.
Yeah. Was understanding you.
So it's like all of that is that intersectionality, especially, and then we have the trope, strong black woman. If I hear it one more time anywhere, I swear I'm just gonna explode. Because why?
That's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment, because who's taking care of you if you're the strong black woman?
Yeah, it's like
nobody's reaching back and going, Mills, you just finished that project.
Yeah.
I saw you here. I came in this morning early. You were already here. Are you good?
Yeah.
Do you need a break? Do you need to go walk and go get coffee? Are you good? Yeah. Nobody ever does that to the SBW. Because they figure,
you got
it.
Yeah.
Right. You good.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and the intersection, the way the intersectionality plays into it, to me, I feel like it bolsters that narrative. So those of us who have the most intersections, God forbid you are a queer black woman, you add another layer to that, it just makes it harder. The more intersections you have, the harder it is for you, because the fewer people in society are like you.
And then where and this just came to me. And then where do you find yourself? Right. Because all the adjectives that's the tip of the iceberg to me. That's how I feel. Like the people who I have a connection with, like that's not what's seen outwardly. You walking around and people just, look, they only looking and okay, like you present, ain't nobody wants to go outside with, being crusty lipped and cake eyed. Nobody does that. You want to clean up and look nice when you go outside. Yes. But it's like and again, at this point in my life,
hashtag no new friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm only gonna let you in so much, but I'm also not confined to the box you put me in.
Totally.
So if I do something that seems counter what you think I should be doing, that's a you problem.
That's a you
That's
problem.
a you problem.
That's not a me
you
problem.
over there and figure it out.
Yeah, because for me, I am learning to just be free in who I am. Like I can, in the words of one of the teachers I met when I first started teaching, she would say, "Be one way." Be one, and I am one way. Like I'm learning more and more how to be one way. That's it. It's easier that way. And so if I don't say something in the moment, that's authentically me, because I won't say something that's fake because you're gonna detect it.
Yeah.
I don't have a poker face at all.
Nope.
I give it all away in good ways and in bad ways. Like mostly.
Sometimes if I say something, it's like, I ain't had no face. It's like,
Yes, they're like, excuse me. I'm like, what?
Okay.
I'm literally in the meeting like, what? What I
Yeah.
do?
And I'm like, well, your face. And then she get upset with me, and then now it's a
I
whole.
don't be upset. I
Your
just
face
Not
is
upset like that, but I'm like,
in
okay.
my mind, I'm like, dang,
In
How
my
do
mind.
how do I not? Like, what do I do?
You've always been. Well, I've never known you to be any other way.
But the thing is, like, for good, bad, like I'm all the things. So I'm corny. I'm passionate in my speech.
That's all
Sometimes,
right. That's all right.
I'm a mix with the shirt say. I'm a mix between Claire Huxtable and Cardi B. Like that's
So
Because
many
that's just what
t-shirts
it is.
to
I
buy.
can go.
Listen, half good and half holy.
Yes.
I'm saved, but I cuss a little.
Yes. Amen.
A lot.
Or a
Because
lot. I mean, I can't say nothing. That's not true.
sometimes in the staff meeting, they like, I get a kick out of one skills because that means she is serious.
Listen, serious business.
I
We
mean,
all tuning in.
Oh
like
my
saying,
gosh, it whatever. But anyway, I say that to say that it is freeing to surrender yourself in that way, to know that I'm going to be myself.
Yeah, we have to show up as our full selves.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
part of I'm gonna get all my friends stuff in here. Killing Superwoman. You know, part of Killing Superwoman. Shout out to my girl Rashida. This is part of it. This is a project that she works on.
Man, your friends.
It's bringing our authentic selves,
Yes.
Yeah.
especially in the workplace.
Yes.
When I was working for Stephanie Tubbs Jones, she would talk about coming to work and like being a judge, right? So you know, and the judge is cloaked in this, got this garb, his robe. And she said one of the things she started to do because of the cases she's ruling on could be heavy, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of folks come into the courtroom, they look like us.
Yeah.
They look like her, right? It's black women. So she started wearing her robe open, just open. Just to show
I'm a person.
her, right?
Yeah.
I'm a person underneath this,
This.
this cloak.
That you think separates.
Yeah.
Right, and that's so important. Like we can't, when you think of like the '80s and you think of the, the shoulder pads and we little ties and stuff. Women wore little ties and trying to look like men. No, I remember just watching my mother and working in the government. She would show all her colors. She'd be like a peacock going into work, and like a lot of times we're told never let them see you sweat, never let them see you cry.
Yep.
I think one of my mother's most impactful moments at work was she got into a meeting, she broke down and cried, and it was like they finally saw her. Like not only is this woman running, at the time she was the interim director at Hopkins, right? She's running an entire airport.
International airport.
Right, an international airport. But she is a wife. She's a mother. She's human. And so we can't always, sometimes the tears gotta flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes the anger they got to feel you.
Yeah.
You know, so that they know that you are real and that you are a full person.
Yes.
Because we don't do ourselves any favors by trying to,
Yeah.
you know, hold it in. We kill ourselves. That's
Yes,
what we do.
Yeah, that's what
You know,
Yeah.
we be stroking out. We be,
Yes.
you know, passing out.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yes.
I remember, you know, there was a moment in my career when my friends, when I left this one job, I was like, so glad you're gone from there. She was like, we didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
You wasn't the Nikki that we know.
We had lost
You had lost all your fun and you know your personality, and that hurt me. I was like, oh man, and so I became super conscious of it. You know, like I got to be me.
Yes.
You know, I can't because you know you stroke out, you fall on that floor, they'll step right over you and keep on going.
On the next one.
So
They will come to your funeral and post your job.
Listen, at the same time.
At the same time. To the people in the audience.
Interview.
Right.
Right
At the
there.
Yeah.
Like,
Not that they don't value you,
so
but
sorry.
you can't value. You're not going to value me more than I value me.
I
Right.
literally said that this past year.
Yeah.
Had me switching up, feeling all kinds of different.
Mhm.
But there's a couple of things that y'all said that has me over here thinking of like Rosie the Riveter.
Mm.
And it's almost like it's all right. But it almost has me thinking like we need to start like a campaign of redefining Rosie the Riveter of like who she embodies today.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
person.
Because like what ignited here you go.
Right, go ahead.
Who like when you think about how she ignited and then like who formed her, it was based off of man and these societal views, and it was an effort to be like, well, yeah, they can definitely do anything that we can do, and like yada yada yada. So then, like over
Until we want
time,
the job back.
Until we
Yeah.
get the back.
yeah,
Until we want our spots back.
Yes.
and so
Black people,
then
women.
over time,
Yes.
it then becomes our persona, which is part of where that mentality of strength come from, because it's like, well, I want to be Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah.
But then we didn't realize who actually formulated that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we
It
become
was-
the puppeteers.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta take that back and redefine, like, no, this is what it means.
Go ahead, artist.
Because
This is how our community, you know, like
it was propaganda.
yeah, this is how
Yes.
like we're talking about how our communities were, you know, before the vote. You know, very much, you know, like sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 60-40, but we are working together. We
Yeah.
are
Right.
we're building community.
Yes.
And then we get westernized, you know, and the white, you know, the white folks say this is how we do it, so we want you to fit into this
Yeah.
this mold.
Yeah.
You know, and then not only that, we're gonna, you know, we're already stripping you of your identity. We're stripping you of your family,
Language.
you know, language and
Customs, traditions.
then, you know, that it just perpetuates
Yeah.
through the years, you
Yes,
know.
it does.
And even when we try to pull it back together, they say, oh, well, you know, like, you know, the welfare systems, all that stuff was designed to split us up. And so then we have to take on these roles because you're not even allowing us to have a man living
We
in
can't
the house.
live.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't live.
Yeah.
Right.
Need to be what's the 100% under poverty to get? Anyway, that's a whole.
That was the fact that, I mean,
There you go.
and the welfare system was fine when they established it. It wasn't a problem till the 70s when when we were included.
Right.
It was
Right.
fine. The entire country was behind it. From the late 30s all the way up to the 70s. And then all of a sudden, there's a problem. I mean, we all know what the problem was. But again, and then
rules and regulations, and
it just fractures everything else.
then you
Right.
And then what do we get? We get
black
more
women
what's the word?
embodying strength.
labels.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get
Well,
more
then-
labels.
Right. And then,
Have to.
and then they pit us against each other. You know, black men and women. You know, we have these crazy. Sometimes the conversations that come from like Hotep Twitter. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Where did this even come from? Like, it's like, it's amazing. I was like, sometimes y'all sound like a white man. Like, what did you tell us about, how we supposed to act, what we're supposed to do? Yeah. We supposed to be working together.
Yes.
But
to move together forward.
Right.
Duh. Duh.
And the other thing that people don't understand, it's not like just for the, not for the forward movement of you and me and all of us. It's for all of us. Because when when one portion gets lifted, it lifts everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine that.
Black folks do well, white folks do well.
It's crazy. But it happens. It's been happening. And every time that happens, so does the backlash.
Ooh, that's a whole nother. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. This is just setting us up.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
for
please.
Conversations.
Please don't get me on that one.
Hey, I said in the beginning, with my core group of folks, and just get topics and talk. That's what this is. And so being able to, come together and do this, and we and I'm putting this on record, we have to do an epic review session. I've only done it with guys when we've done genres of movies, but we have to pick one and come back together and unpack movie genre.
Were you on the Best Man?
Yes, I was.
Yes, on the Zoom.
On the Zoom, I was the late. Yeah. I was the late woman about the Best Man.
But just pick something and come back and unpack that. Cause again, not saying nothing about the fellas who joined me, but not saying but, however, comma, whatever. Doing that, having us do that, I think would be super dope. So, yeah. So I always like to end it with like, if you had to say something to like your younger self, like now you go back and think, what would I tell my younger self? And so I think I'm gonna stick with that, but a bit of a pivot. If there was an era or a season in your life that you could redo, I probably should have asked this in the beginning or sent that to y'all as pre-work, but in the moment, we love our pre-work. If there's an era or something you could redo in your, and I ain't, we ain't gotta go super deep, but if there is something, what would that be? What would you say that what you know now? How would you encourage that person in that season? Wow, that's kind of deep.
It's really deep. Pre-work has been.
Right. I would say probably the sort of nebulous time of after college to maybe about 30, early 30s, because we talked about HBCUs. I was privileged to go to HBCU, and if them women ain't gonna do nothing, they gonna make you step outside of your comfort zone. I was there when Jonetta was there, so she was encouraging us to do all the things. So I was all over the place in college and doing all kinds of stuff. But I think here's what I tell my mentees is to fail fantastically. That sort of removes the fear, right? Right. Everybody fails. Yeah. No matter what they tell you, everybody has failed at something, and that's okay. Yeah. Those are supposed to be learning experiences, and they help to shape you. Yeah. And so we always sort of want to dip our toe, when we just need to just dive head first, especially while your knees are working, while you ain't, it didn't take you 10 minutes to get out of bed in the morning because you got to stretch, and, do it while you're young and while you are, fearless. Because now I'm like, wait a minute. But that's what I would say. Just be unapologetic. about yourself and your needs and wants, and you know, and shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your
if
shot.
if you see somebody, you see a tenderoni, you like, you better shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. Yeah. Next.
I'll go. Stop playing. Don't play it safe.
Mm.
Take more risks. They will all pay off in one way or another. I've conditioned myself to not be a risk taker, and now it's biting me in the behind. When I wish I had a just every time, and I'm gonna start it like it would be post Bree, so 20. So even after I had her, so after 20, because she was mobile. You know, any place I went, she could have went too. Take every risk. And stop playing it safe. Stop playing it safe.
Wow. Okay.
That's good. That's good. No. I'm so serious. It's real good. About a few months ago, it was my good friend Liam's birthday, and we always get into these deep conversations. And he said, you know, one of the things that's the major difference between the two of us is that he was like, I, as in him, is a risk taker, and then I, as in me, I play it safe.
Okay.
And it made me think about a conversation that I had with my homegirl, Jay Lou, and this was years ago, probably when I was like 24, 25, and just got out of something, and she says to me, leave a little room for life to happen. I think how that's kind of metamorphed into like where I'm at now, still trying to relinquish that control, because I have told myself from a very young age that if I do this, if I'm in control of this, it will work out. It will turn out. It will work out. But then when stuff doesn't, I sit in a place of disappointment or feeling like I have failed, and feeling like why did this not happen? I put all my effort in, and whether it's me studying or me practicing, like why did this thing not work out? And so if I had to tell my younger self, or even continue to tell myself now, it's being okay with allowing room for life to happen and embracing that present moment. Not overthinking late at night. There's no need for it. Just allow things to happen, and it's okay. It doesn't mean something bad is automatically going to happen. It just means that you're allowing to learn from whatever the experiences are.
I have nothing because everything's worked out just fine. And that is a lie from the pit of hell. So that's not true. What I would say would be to dream positively. Because the overthinking, the self-sabotage, the fear, trying to be what I think I should be and not what I actually am, stifled me. And so in that period of my life, I would just say I would dream positively. And I think that sets me up to then walk that thing out, because the creativity that I'm embracing now, 20 years later, was there then. But I didn't make space for it. I had no space to be a creative. What you mean? I'm an accountant. I crunch numbers. I do this. I'm that. Blah blah blah. Yeah, right. I didn't know I could do both, and so now I am doing both. I am my career, and this is my passion, and I'm, the Lord, if He would ever open up the floodgate. Sorry, if you would open it up,
because I'm gonna come right on in
and just let it happen. Where my passion could become my vocation. Like that's where I dream. Oftentimes, that's how I fall asleep at night. I condition my mind to like dream about amazing things happening.
Like I'm like, Lord, all I need is one person to listen to this podcast. All I need is one person to ask me to come speak and do this. One person to hear me do that. One, God, if you would just do this one thing, or I don't know how you gonna do it, God. And now I'm gonna take yours and say, blow my mind, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking that.
I'm gonna take that.
Hey,
right.
Take it.
But
so many things.
But that thing, like, and I think that links everything we said. Make room for life to happen. Shoot your shot. Like, just don't stay still.
Yeah.
But in all of it, it's like, whatever it is, on the other side of it, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And so the answer to be strong for what, there ain't no reason. And it's not ever saying, I think we named this before, we'll say it again now, there's nothing wrong with being strong.
Nothing.
There's nothing wrong with it. We're inherently strong as a part of who we are.
Right.
But not to your detriment,
Right.
based on somebody else's perception of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we get into crazy things, is when we're not our authentic selves.
Yeah.
And we live off of somebody else's agenda, perception, and time, and blah, 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 blah.
Expectation.
Expectation, absolutely.
Skills, what you said made me think about this. Purpose and passions can coexist.
Yes, they can. And it's freeing. It is just to be able to be in this space and just converse and laugh and do all the things and just put it out there. It resonates with folks.
Yeah.
It really resonates with people. It's like we don't live a life in a vacuum. Like there are 4,000. There's 4 of us, but there's 4,000 women. Lord, if it's your will.
4 million women.
Come on, dream big. Come on, dream big.
Positively.
Yes. That resonate with
Gang of men. Gang of men.
that resonate with what we say
Yeah.
and experiences, and it's just to know that, hey, I'm not alone. I don't live by myself.
People need to know that.
They need to know that, and it's like, so when this thing goes on the road, when this thing blows up and does all the things that it needs to do, it is literally out of passion that this happens, to be able to connect and to encourage people and inspire communities. I thank y'all so much for making this epic.
Nice.
Like, this is always epic. Oh my gosh. So I've had like epic with all of people.
Right.
Like, now, goddamn. And now we can all be epic together in this space. It's so dope. I'm so encouraged by y'all. I thank you. I love y'all so much. Thank you for saying yes and coming in. Oh, my key, da, da. Okay. Ain't no ocean, ain't no sea. My key, da, da. Yes, come on. Come on. Anyway, going to see that on Christmas Day. Just saying. Anywho, so. And so, if you're listening to this, we already know the good sister Nikki said the video is on the Spotify, but we're also on Apple and iHeart. And check me out on Instagram, One Epic Experience, Facebook, One Epic Experience. My IG is CC Skills. My Facebook is Sinitra Still Learn. If you would like to come on this couch and listen, you're gonna be listening, you're gonna be talking, hit me up at oneepicexperience@gmail.com to share your story. Everybody has something epic to say and share. That's what it's all about. Thank y'all so much for listening, and thank y'all for being here. This was epic. Woo!